Hello, it's Erica from Sewing Machines Etc. Welcome back to our creative sewing channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about twin needles, stitching, how to thread your machine, how to understand the package, and just give you a couple of ideas of different things you can do with the twin needle. Okay, hopefully this is in focus enough that you can see what we're working on. These are some of our Schmetz needle packages. This one is woven, this one is for stretch. So if you're working with knits like t-shirts or sweatshirts, swimsuits, you'll want a stretch twin needle. Otherwise you'll use a woven twin needle. And on the package you see some numbers on the bottom. 4 is the different distance between the two needles, so this one is actually 4 millimeters apart, where this one you can see is much closer, 1.6 millimeters apart. The second number indicates the size of the needle. So a size 100 is for heavier fabrics, a size 80 is kind of for your average medium weight fabrics. Here a size 75, that would be your lightweight stretches. So they go a full range all the way from lightweight fabrics, which would be a 70, up to 100 for your very heavyweight denims and upholstery weight fabrics. Okay, we're going to go over to the sewing machine and I'll show you how to thread up for this. Okay, so when you're threading for twin needle, the idea is to make sure that your thread paths cross as little as possible, because if they're crossing or twisting together, your thread's going to snap. So what you want to do, the first thing is just look at your spools and which way does the thread wind off, because when we put it on the machine you want them to be spooling off in opposite directions. So right now they're both coming off to the left. I'm going to flip this one over so that the thread is coming off to the right, and that's how I'm going to go ahead and put them on the machine. So one on the right, one on the left, and I'm going to start threading like normal. Okay, so the next spot that you need to pay attention to is your tension discs. So on this machine you can see this little metal triangle jutting up right here. That's the center of our tension assembly. I want to put my thread on one side and my other thread is going to go on the other side. So do whatever you need to do to make sure that it stays on one side. There we go. So now my green thread is going down on the right of my tension assembly. And for the rest, I'm just going to thread my machine like normal, up and over the uptake, past the guide in front of the needle. Now I can't use my built-in needle threader on my sewing machine, so I'm going to use my handheld needle threader here and just slide that needle through the eye, or slide that thread through the eye of the needle. There's my loop at the back. There we go. Okay, so there's thread number 1, set and ready to go. I'll go ahead and do thread number 2, which is winding off in the correct direction. And this time when I get to the tension assembly, I'm going to make sure that my thread lies to the left-hand side of my little center disc. Thread like normal, up and over the uptake. Now the third place where you can separate your two threads, the first being at the spool, the second is the tension assembly, is right at the needle. Rather than putting the thread through the guide at the top of the needle, I'm just going to thread directly from my uptake into my second needle. So here I go again with this little needle threader. There we go, my loop at the back, I just need to grab that. And I'm threaded up and ready to go. So one of the places that you will definitely be using a twin needle is to get this sort of a hem finish. You'll see it on a lot of store-bought garments. This is actually done on a serger, but you can replicate the look with a twin needle. 2 rows of stitching evenly beside each other. On the back here you can see that it's definitely a serger stitch with the loops and whatnot, but I'll show you how you can achieve that look on a regular sewing machine. So here I've just got some fleece fabric. This is a knit. And I'm going to fold it back, and all I have is my machine set up with the twin needle, 2 different colors of thread. You will see obviously that's not going to be tone on tone with this, and a regular straight stitch. So what I'm going to do is I can kind of feel my fold under there working from the right side of the fabric, and the idea is to catch that raw edge of the fabric. I've got a triple straight stitch on here. Alright, we don't need a triple straight stitch since we have a twin needle in. Alright, there we go, all the way to the end. And rather than use my thread cutter, I'm just lifting up my presser foot and I cut my tails. So there we go, 2 rows of stitching, nice and even side by side, and on the reverse, oh, see I was a little better at the beginning, right next to the edge. If you have a lot of excess fabric here, you can go in with your applique scissors. But that's what it'll look like on the back, is a little zigzag. And because you have that zigzag, there's actually built-in stretch. So for garments, that's fabulous, because if you're pulling that over your head, or even just rolling up your sleeve ends, you won't be breaking any stitches. Okay, so another fun thing you can do with twin needle is using your decorative stitches. This is a little squiggle stitch, but it's coming up at 7 millimeters wide, and my twin needle is 3 millimeters. If I used that, I would be breaking my needles all over the place. So what I'm going to do on my sapphire here is set my twin needle safety, and I've already predetermined the width. I can set any twin needle width in here, but I'm working with a 3, so I'm going to leave it on 3 and click it on. Now you can see that the width of my stitch has been reduced to 4 millimeters, which means I can safely use a 3 millimeter twin needle. So let's see what this looks like when we stitch it out. I do have stabilizer under my fabric. I'm going to go ahead and begin stitching here. How pretty is that? So you can use any number of decorative stitches. Actually, on the twin needle package, you can see that they've done it here in the background with another one that actually overlaps on top of itself. Depending on the width of your needle, you're going to get a different effect, whether you use a 4 millimeter, a 2 millimeter, or 1.6. So many beautiful things. And then let's go over here. We've pulled a couple of samples out. This is stained glass where the strip of black has been fused down and stitched in place with a twin needle. And then we have an heirloom sample here where you can see pin tucks have been done with a very fine twin needle, and here they've been used in combination with a 9-groove pin tuck foot to build up a beautiful pleated texture effect. For lots of different places. Pick up some twin needles today and start playing, because I know you're just going to love it.